YouTube.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we got audio on TikTok.
All right. Hey, everybody on TikTok. Let me know if you can hear me and see me all right. If you can give a thumbs up on this video, it'd be really helpful. Thank you so much.
I have the top. Now, YouTube, people tuning in, if you can see us and hear us, please let us know.
Yep. Everybody on YouTube, if you could please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you can see and hear me all right. Thank you so much. We're going to give this a second for a few people to tune in.
Let me sneak that in a little closer to you. So you can see it. Oh, give me a shot.
What's that?
Let me sneak this closer to you
Okay.
so that you can see the comments.
Yeah, so I could see.
Shelby.
What? Enjoying my content, always appreciated. And please do subscribe here on YouTube. Let me know when we're good. We still having issues?
No. Visibly looks okay here.
Okay, you guys are saying that on YouTube we do not have audio. Okay, some people are saying we do have audio. How are we on TikTok? Do I have audio on TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok's still good.
TikTok is fine. So this is a YouTube problem. Or it's our connection.
It was StreamYard.
StreamYard. Okay, we're going to give this another second to work this out.
All right, YouTube's good. Thumbs up. Thank
YouTube
you, Rick.
is
Thank
good.
You, Heather. Thank you, Shelby.
All right, thanks, everybody. Listen, people tuning in through YouTube, if the audio goes out, please let us know right away, all right? And should you continue to have problems, you can always switch over to TikTok at Ask Ivy and just jump in on the live stream there.
And vice versa.
Yep. Okay. Well, looks like we have a few people tuned in. Before I start getting into today's curriculum, I do want to say thank you to everyone who joined in, whether it be online or in person, for the grand opening of the Ivy League Psychic Academy Roots Revival Interfaith. It was such a good time. What was it, Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. Everybody came out and we had the psychic fair going. We opened the apothecary. We had our first ever free 3-hour-long psychic mediumship class. And people got to see the space, the 1800s Victorian funeral home. So it was a really great time. And I just appreciate so much everyone who donated and participated and just with all the loving comments. So very exciting time. We are taking right now early bird registration for the psychic mediumship course. If you want to jump in for the winter session, it begins December 6th. So right now you go to psychicmediumshipcourse.com, get your foot in the door, get on that early bird registration so that you can guarantee your seat. The psychic mediumship course is now in person and online, as well as through video download. So we hope to see you there for that. All right, are we good, Polly?
Yes.
All right. So I think we're actually good now, okay? We're going to go ahead and get into this again. If there are any problems, please let me know immediately so I can fix it. So welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where I train people internationally in everything, ranging from psychic mediumship development to numerology, astrology, tarot, Reiki, meditation, empathic awareness, paranormal training. We train children as well as adults. So we hope to see you for the actual classes on ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. What you've caught here tonight is one of my free mini classes. I've been putting out one per week since the pandemic hit, called the Quarantine Series, to watch all of the classes, and we have certainly racked up a ton of them by now. Go to YouTube at Ask Ivy and hit the playlist to see all of them. If everyone could give this video a thumbs up right now, please do hit that join or subscribe button. Donations are appreciated, and if you want to become a YouTube member, we have tonight is our first behind the scenes Ask Ivy. So I'm doing private shows for you guys, taking your questions once a month. That is for the higher 2 tiers. So hit that join button to also become a member. So today's class is called Psychic Attacks and Self-Protection. So the first thing I want to talk about is whether or not they're real, right? That's highly debatable to a lot of people. Then I want to talk about how exactly they happen, how you can know if it's happening to you, and of course, how to protect yourself. So this idea of psychic attacks and people who don't like you, people who want to do you dirty, people who want to take away whatever prosperity you have. Possibly they're jealous of you. They definitely want to make sure you are not in a well enough condition to live your everyday life and to accomplish the tasks that you need to accomplish. So these people are going to attack a couple key areas: your mental state, your emotional well-being, and of course your physical body, if they can actually manage to do that. Is it a real thing? Absolutely, it's a real thing. So I do a lot of TikToks where I talk about spells and curses, and I talk about how this is nonsense, and you are able, every individual on earth is able to protect themselves from such attacks. But I also talk about how a lot of it is a scam. So a reader, a supposed reader or healer, may tell you that for like $550, they can protect you from psychic attacks or a curse or a spell. This is nonsense. That does not exist. So when I say on those videos, this is hogwash, this is ridiculous, don't feed into it, that's what I'm talking about. I am saying that you can protect your own self. You can get educated and be aware on your own, and someone can't come in and rescue you from it. That is not a real thing. Not when we're talking about psychic attacks, not when we're talking about paranormal attacks, or any of your other life events that are tied into your own karma, right? Your situations in life are for you to deal with. And while others may be able to help you by giving you advice or a skill set or the type of tools we're going to talk about today, even I can't come in and help you in such a way that relinquishes you of your responsibility to fight your own battle. Okay, I can only show you the way you have to do it yourself. So do these things happen? They do happen in regards to psychic attacks. People will definitely manipulate and send deliberately toxic energy your way. If they want what you have, they don't like you, they want to prevent you from succeeding. So what does that really look like? Well, it is essentially energy manipulation. And people who are very skilled at energy manipulation are usually higher level empaths. I talk a ton on my channel, and I do an empathic awareness class up on my website, and I teach empathic awareness in universities. I talk about empaths all the time in a positive light. What I don't do very often is to talk about the narcissistic, low-level problems that come with some empaths. We could say dark empaths. So people who manipulate energy, empaths, are sometimes really jaded, and they are really good at hurting others and just wreaking havoc on positive situations, constantly stirring the pot wherever they go. So this could look like an energy vampire, or this could look like someone who is sneakily in your inner circle, that just has a way of cutting you down all the time. Sometimes they're in your environment and they like to pretend that they're watching out for the best for you. They like to pretend that they're a mentor. They like to pretend that they enjoy being in your company, but in actuality, they're trying to do damage behind the scenes. Some of the ways that you can know if psychic attacks are being sent your way are through your physical reactions, okay? So let's look at a couple physical reactions. We're talking about burning at the back of the neck up into the head, especially when this person is around or is about to reach out to you. Okay, this can go up all the way from the top of your shoulders up into your head, even causing a headache or like a band of pressure. You may get severe, intense ear ringing or like a pain, a stabbing in your ears, especially on the right side. When this person is near, their name comes up if they're about to reach out. You may have a sick feeling in your stomach or like a twisting, a sharp pain in your guts. You could have random bouts of profuse sweating, nervousness, an anxiety attack, just a general fight or flight kind of a reaction. Okay. So it's the same type of physical reactions you would have if anything else was wrong. If you were about to get into a car accident, or you were shopping in a store and there was about to be a fight, you were at a party and something bad was about to go down, you would get the same type of physical warnings. But then it doesn't make any sense because they're hiding it. So you look around, you try to figure out why you're feeling so ill, why you're upset, what has gone wrong, and you can't find anything. Check your environment. Okay. Now, does that mean they're sending a psychic attack at you right at that moment? No, it just could mean that they are regularly doing it in a deliberate manner. Okay, so you could have physical reactions. How else could you know if someone is sending these types of attacks to you? Well, it could show up in your dreams. For those of you that do not remember your dreams, I'm going to highly recommend you check out my dreams class up on the website. I help remove blocked dreaming so that you can remember again. Tracking your dreams is always important for your prosperity, for your life goals, as prophecy, you visit your loved ones, so astral travel, so many different things happen in your dreams. It's important to be connected to them at all times. But when we're talking about psychic attacks, this is the number one way outside of physical reactions that you are going to be warned by your higher mind, by your ancestors, by your guides, that it's going on. So they will come, they will show you what exactly the person is doing to you. They will show you who is doing it, and they will show you what you can do about it if you're supposed to do something about it. You may also just notice that you're starting to have a ton of nightmares. Okay, so you're waking up a lot, you're having restless sleep, maybe you dream that someone's chasing you, trying to do harm to you. So negative sleep cycles. All right, emotionally, you could start to feel extremely drained. And this kind of connects spiritually as well. You may start to feel like something's wrong. like you are feeling depressive, you're feeling low level energy, sad, scared, fearful. You may start to feel paranoia, and maybe you start looking around at others around you saying, are they up to something? Is something wrong? But it's misplaced paranoia. For those of you that are on the higher levels of empathic ability, if you would have developed telepathy on the third and the fourth level, you will start to hear other people's thoughts. And so your telepathy could be activated. Now you're hearing people's thoughts more because you are essentially trying to figure out who's sending psychic attacks at you. Okay, so telepathy could be off the charts. Spiritually, you may just feel disconnected, like you're not receiving messages from your ancestors, your guides. You're not sure why you feel off base. You may feel like you need to do more meditation, more rooting and grounding exercises, like you're not receiving messages the way that you used to. All right, so people will try essentially to wipe you out by manipulating energy and sending it to you mentally, energetically, in bouts. They will wait until you're vulnerable and you are in a fragile state to send a lot of energy, hoping that you don't sort of get back up out of that rut. So one of the things you really should do is keep your emotions to yourself. You should be more secretive about your life. You should not tell the whole world about your stress. You should not indicate on your social media accounts that you're going through a gruesome time. Don't air your dirty laundry, people, okay? If there is anyone out there who would like to take advantage of that and they're good at it, they're going to know to attack you right in that moment of vulnerability. So keep your circle small. You don't need to share with everyone, right? This is one of the easy ways to protect yourself. Now, I want to talk about an experience that I had that I've never shared with the public. I have shared it with some of my clients, some of my students, but there was a situation where I had just come out, was working for the public, giving readings, and an older woman who ran psychic fairs found me, and she said, will you come work my psychic fairs on a regular basis? And I thought, well, this sounds like a great opportunity. And we would travel and I would work 10, 12-hour days giving readings, 4 days in a row, and then travel to a new location, 4 days, reading all the time. And it was going really well for me. I got first table. I would have more customers than the other readers there. And I wasn't doing anything to make that happen. Spirit put me there. It was an energy that I was giving off that people were attracted to. I was not sending negative energy to my coworkers, trying to make them fail. They just weren't doing as well. Okay. I can't control these things. Well, there was a lot of jealousy that came out of that, especially when I was given first table. So apparently one of the readers there started sending psychic attacks at me. And I didn't know a ton about it. I hadn't dealt with it since middle school because that's so immature. Who would even think that grown people who are supposedly light workers would be doing such a thing? So my guard was really down. I was focused on being of service to spirit and helping people, wasn't paying attention. But apparently she started bragging about the attacks she was sending at me. And I want to say 3 or 4 different people from this circle, my coworkers, who I wasn't close to, I didn't really know them either, but they came to me at separate times and they said, by the way, this woman is bragging about how much toxicity and negativity she's attacking you with regularly to get you out of here. And I thought about it and I asked myself, do you feel it? Is it affecting you? I said, no, not really. So I spoke to Spirit about it and I said, what is it that I should do. And this is what I'm going to recommend to all of you, because it isn't a black or white answer, okay, in regards to how you address these situations. I said to Spirit, what is it that you want me to do? Is this a battle that I am to fight? Or is this something you are going to handle? So we really have two options in any battle in life. You are either supposed to step up and handle it yourself, because Spirit did not put you on this earth to be a doormat, or it isn't your fight at all. And you're supposed to sit back and wait for the front row seat to the karma show, and the universe will take care of it. Well, in this particular situation, even though I didn't really feel bad, I didn't feel like her attacks were actually working. In this situation, Spirit said to me, no, I think you need to handle this yourself. And so I used a reversal technique on this person. I said that any energy she was sending at me was now to be reflected back onto her. I didn't send extra. I didn't reach into the dark abyss of the universe. I didn't send demons to attack her. All I did was reverse what she was sending at me. And all of her hair fell out, and she ended up in the hospital for 7 months. That's how much negativity this woman was sending at me. And I literally did nothing but repel it. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, that's evil. You shouldn't do that. No, I think it is your job to protect yourself. And I think we do have a responsibility to let other people know that they're not allowed to disrespect and cross boundaries with us. So we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to try to convince others to hold themselves accountable as well. So that was an instance where I was told I was to stand up for myself. There have been a million other times, though, that Spirit has told me in a battle where I'm being attacked that I am not to deal with it. And I have learned, even if it's very, very hard, I have learned to be patient and wait. And if it takes months, great. Sometimes it takes years before I see that person suffer the consequences of their actions and karma be delivered. But it has never failed me once. Now, the art of understanding when to do what comes with practice. You have to stop every time there's a battle, and you have to ask what the nature of it is. And you have to ask what exactly you're supposed to do about it. But Spirit is always there to direct you. Now, I want to talk a little bit more, and then we are going to get into your questions. Okay, so again, donations are appreciated, you guys. If you have questions or comments on this topic, start posting them now. We are going to get to all of them here in just a couple minutes. And if you haven't already done so, like this video and subscribe. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about a couple other ways that you can protect yourself if that's what you're supposed to do in the situation. You really don't even necessarily need to know who's sending it. So this is a lot of people get obsessed with, well, who is sending it? Well, how do I protect myself if I don't know who to, send it back to? It doesn't really matter because the universe knows how to handle energy. Your job is just to repel it, and it is intelligent enough to go wherever it needs to go. So don't worry about that part. But you can reverse. You can also bind. So by binding, I mean that usually, typically, who is doing it and what they're doing. But even if you don't, you could still use this. And you visualize calling in your protector guide, your protector angel, your joy guide, who is your spiritual development guide and protects your mental and emotional well-being. You call them in, and you are visualizing the person or the energy that they're sending to you. And you can picture using a rope. You can picture using some kind of fabric, whatever it is that you feel you're being told to use at the time, and you bind them. Okay, some people maybe choose handcuffs or chains. It doesn't really matter. And in binding them, you are saying you can no longer do harm to me, to others, or to yourself. Another option for you is black tourmaline or other black stones that repel energy, that protect you. You keep them in your pocket. You could wear them, and that can help a lot, especially in the workplace or around toxic family members. You can also do an exercise where you visualize the problem person or the problem situation, and you put mirrors all around you. Putting mirrors around you from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet is not only protecting you from their toxic energy, but it's also resending their toxic energy. And you can say the same thing. You can no longer harm me, others, or yourself. And so the energy that goes back onto the problem person is very much going to feel like an offense. They usually notice that the minute they think of you, they hear your name, you're near them, it activates, and they end up in a pretty sorry state of affairs, and they will try to turn it around and blame and accuse you of sending some bad energy at them. The reality is it's just a reflection of what they sent at you. So they're not wrong, but they did create it. Okay, so there are a lot of simple things that you could do. You could use your imagination on this. Talk to your protector guide, talk to your protector angel, talk to your ancestors. A lot of us have tools, ceremonies, back through our spiritual roots. So look at your roots. Okay, what did the ancestors know to do? But I would definitely recommend this. And I'm going to wrap this up and start getting into questions. Before you take any kind of action, make sure you're supposed to, because often the most powerful thing that you can do is absolutely nothing. Water off a duck's back. Allow for the universe to deliver the full impact the way it's supposed to be delivered. You really don't want to disrupt that. And it's also nice to just be like, I'm on vacation. I don't even have to deal with this one. However, so many people want to adopt that because that's a safety zone. We can say, let go, let God. God will always handle it. No, we have responsibility too. There are battles that you are going to have to fight. And definitely we are moving more and more into a time here on Earth where we are expected to fight more battles and get off the sidelines. So we do need to abandon those ideas, but not all the time. So know the difference and start working with the energy. Okay. So in a nutshell, yes, psychic attacks are real. For the most part, they're coming at you because someone is jealous of you, wants what you have, or wants to prevent you from achieving. You are absolutely able to protect yourself, and it is simple and uncomplicated. No one can come in and rescue you from it, and you should know when you should apply the techniques of blocking, binding, reversals, and when you should allow universal karma to handle it. What questions do we have?
This is one from a unicorn. A unicorn word.
A unicorn word?
I'm an influencer and have been showing my journey. I'm currently living in my car and it's a struggle. So should I dial it back?
Well, that sounds like a psychic question for another show.
Well, I think that it's all on display here. Is she getting attacked, maybe?
Oh, well, I mean, if you... Okay, I see what you're saying. So if you feel like you're putting a lot of your life out there on social media because it is part of your life contract, it's part of your calling, it's something that spirit has led you to do, then you are authentically living the life you're supposed to live. If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you're not sure it's your calling at all, you're not really feeling like it's being of service to people, you don't really know what the direction is, I would dial it in. I would not recommend anybody be out and vulnerable in front of the public eye to that degree, unless it is your journey. And if it is your journey, you have to expect that you will face all different kinds of attacks that are uncomfortable, but you will definitely learn new skills along the way. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry. I see how that fits in. I always get these people who just start, is Freddie the love of my life? Should I marry him? And so I'm always like, that's the wrong show, lady.
Wrong show.
Okay.
This one is from Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Once you said, if you have to shield yourself behind a mirror, you should ask yourself why. Can you explain that more?
Okay, so it's about asking whether or not the universe is stepping up and handling the situation for you. Sometimes you are expected to fight your own battle, and it's not necessarily going to be that way the entire time. In a war, there are many battles. So perhaps within the war, there are some battles you're supposed to fight. You are supposed to know the difference between stepping up and taking action and holding back and allowing for the universe, your ancestors, your guides, to protect you and make the situation work out karmically in a very specific way that you are not to have a part of. And I think it's just about discernment. I think that you have to realize that in life, like dieting, for example, you know, if you say, I have 30 pounds, I need to lose, you have to understand that it is up to you to take action, that weight is not going to come off on its own. You have to embark on a different lifestyle. You have to work out and do straight up cardio for 50 to 60 minutes, 5 to 6 days a week. You have to alter things, okay? But it doesn't stay that way. After a couple months, you're going to plateau. And even though you were losing weight, you're not going to consistently be able to do that anymore. You have to switch it up again. So sometimes you are supposed to be taking action. Sometimes you're supposed to be sitting back, and you just have to ask accordingly.
Okay. We have one from Susan asking if sage would be enough or if she should use sage and a reversal candle.
A candle's not going to fix it, and sage isn't going to fix it. And a crystal won't fix it. Like, there is nothing to fix it other than your intention. So I love a ceremony. I love tools. I'm native. I use sage all the time. I get it. But ultimately, if you had nothing, you would still be able to protect yourself. It is about your intention. It is about the manifestation of that protection. Or in this case, you're talking about a reversal that really counts. So don't feel like you have to have any tool with you. The tool is more a helper, and the tool is able to increase your manifestation abilities and your visualization, and to put more of your energy out there in a set way. I think humans do well with tools because it helps us remember, and it helps us to stay powerful and determined, but you don't necessarily need it.
Okay, it's one from Jackie.
Jackie?
How do I know if my blocking, binding, or reversal has worked?
Well, like I said about this one girl who did it to me, all her hair fell out and she ended up in the hospital for 7 months. You know, I was like, well, it worked. You know, I've had to do it at other times and the person just disappears, or they end up in a state of chaos in their life, and they just aren't able, because their life ends up in such a chaotic, toxic cycle. Basically, whatever negativity they were putting out, you know, got sent back to them like a punch in the face, and you could just watch them deteriorate right in front of you. It's you know, it's pretty obvious, basically. But if it's someone you can't see, if you have no proof, you would notice that the energy feels cleaner to you on a daily basis. Your dreams are cleaner and less troubled. You feel less of that weird energetic attack. If we think of something like Mercury in retrograde, when Mercury goes into retrograde, or if we're having a full moon, or if there's an eclipse, a lot of us feel nervous. We feel tense. We feel like the other shoe's going to drop. We have a terrible foreboding. We feel like something bad's going to happen. That feeling can really linger when someone is sending psychic attacks. And if you've nipped it in the bud, you're not going to feel any of that.
Elaine just chimed in here. It's just with a thank you. That you bring so much clarity to her, and it's like you're talking right to her. She's grateful today for this and all that we do.
You are so welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this one. It's good to be back doing the free classes, and we have another one coming up next week. Is it at the same time and place?
Yep, same time, same place, and next week happens to be a great class that we are titling
He doesn't.
The Right Person at the Wrong Time, Myth versus Truth.
All right. So next week's free mini class, same time, same place. It's called The Right Person at the Wrong Time, Myth versus Truth. Is it possible to meet your soulmate, but it was the wrong time? Is this a real issue? Can we have the right one just pass us by? I'm going to break all that down, and we're going to have some fun doing it. I will see you guys tomorrow for Ask Ivy. We are at 9:00 here on TikTok, where I take your questions. I deliver messages from Spirit. 9:30 here on YouTube. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, Spirit. Thank you, Polly. Have a great night.